So the new Tom Holland Marvel MCU Spider-Man 4 has just had an incredibly weird and unexpected update that I think a lot of us didn't expect. And before I get into that, I would just like to, I think, kind of talk about the theory that a lot of people had on how this story was going to go by the previous news that we had, by the ending of Spider-Man No Way Home. Again, there were certain leaks out there that were saying about a year ago that this story would be pretty, I think, grounded, and that the main villain would be Kingpin. And essentially what would happen is Kingpin would have, potentially hire the Scorpion as a villain to go hunt down Peter. Again, I actually made a video talking about how I would have made the MCU Spider-Man 4, and in that video I do also mention Black Cat as the love interest. I believe she would have been perfect with how we left off with Peter at the end of Spider-Man No Way Home, where he is depressed and doesn't know what anyone, doesn't have a love interest or anything like that. You give him Black Cat, who feeds into Peter wanting to be Spider-Man more and not living his Peter Parker life anymore. But in recent news, it looks like that is all being thrown in the bin, with Sony pretty much saying, well, look, we've seen Marvel now in the last couple of years have some issues in the box office with movies like The Eternals, The Marvels, Ant-Man, Quantumania, and a couple other movies here and there not really living up to expectations. And Sony have just essentially said, well, we are going to take pretty much complete full control of this movie, and we're going to merge it with our Sony universe. And Marvel have pretty much said, well, shit, we can't really complain or argue with that. And look, I guess let's look at the positives. If we add Venom into our universe, he's probably more popular than 90% of the characters we have in our movies right now, and definitely more popular than anyone in the fucking Marvel's movie. So again, for those of you who don't know where I'm getting this report from, this has been around like wildfire, but it is saying, according to insider Daniel RPK, Marvel's Spider-Man 4 will reportedly merge the MCU and Sony's universe together. This will likely include building connections between Tom Holland's Spider-Man with villains such as Tom Hardy's Venom and Aaron Taylor Johnson's Kraven. The film currently is eyeing a late 2024 production start, which we know is 100% the case. There was also another rumor slash leak, which I've already talked about on this channel before, that did actually come from the leak of Thomas Hayden Church, I believe his name is, saying that he had heard a Spider-Man 4 with Sam Raimi and Tobey Maguire was like somewhat in the works.
I just have one quick question I got to ask you. Now, if you return to Sandman one day, out of the three Spider-Man, which one would you be most interested in going toe-to-toe with?
Well, back with Tobey. With Tobey.
Yeah.
Because that's who I started out with. And then, in No Way Home, I had the stuff that I had, really with the different guys, more with Tom Holland than with the other guys. But there's always been something that's kind of, I've heard rumors, that Sam Raimi was going to do another one, and with Tobey. And if that happened, I would probably campaign to maybe at least do a cameo.
Then we were all like, oh my god, Tobey Maguire and Sam Raimi, that's awesome. Then the leak actually came out saying that he was somewhat right, but instead this would be Sam Raimi directing the MCU Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire making an appearance. Whether that's true or not, we still have no idea. But the fact that this rumor is coming out saying that the Sony universe and Marvel universe are gonna clash together in this MCU Spider-Man 4, you just kind of know it's true. And the issue is I don't really like it. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really like it. And if you're wondering, well, how do you know it's true besides this leaker being incredibly reliable? Well, first of all, the phase that we're in right now is literally called like the multiverse phase. Not just that, Marvel right now really don't have too many big characters in the MCU that they're making movies about. And I think if they have the opportunity now to add Venom to their catalog of who's going to be in the new Avengers movies, as well as we know Wolverine and the new Deadpool and a couple other guys here and there, it's just another added bonus for Marvel. And not just that, the multiverse stuff has really worked with Spider-Man recently, and it seems like Sony want to continue to drag this out. The other thing is, Kraven and Venom are at an all-time popularity. Like, we've seen Venom and Kraven both in the new Spider-Man game, which is like arguably PlayStation's biggest nearly ever game that's an exclusive, right? And then you look at Venom's had his own couple of movies and Kraven's getting his own movie, and you realize, well, holy crap, these dudes are super popular right now. I think a lot of average fans are going to be like, whoa, Spider-Man versus Kraven versus Venom, I want to go see that movie. When in reality, although that sounds like an awesome idea, I don't think we are ready for that in the MCU, especially where Peter Parker is right now. Where Peter is right now, it would have been much better to tell a grounded story of Peter trying to get his way through college, not being able to pay the bills, being depressed and upset with everything that happened in the previous movie, and having no one who knows who he is. Then he's got to fight this street crime, and he now knows that the Scorpion has been sent after him to kill him. Black Cat's been sent after him to kill him. He falls in love with Black Cat. It would be a really awesome idea in my opinion. I thought that's how they should have gone with the movie, but at the end of the day, we were probably always going to get this, especially considering they've turned Venom and Kraven into such anti-heroes. Like, the way Marvel probably see this, they're probably sitting there thinking, look, for Avengers Secret Wars right now and Avengers Kang Dynasty, we really don't have that many characters. Like, we've got a bunch of characters that no one really cares about. We've got Captain Marvel, She-Hulk, right? No one cares about any of those characters. They're probably thinking, look, we can add Hugh Jackman's Wolverine from the new Deadpool movie. We've got Blade coming in. We're going to add the Fantastic Four now. Because of No Way Home, we've got Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. And maybe in the MCU Spider-Man 4, we can now add Venom and Kraven the Hunter. That's what they're thinking. They're clearly thinking out the box. They're thinking big with this. And I think the idea is okay. But in reality, we could have the best Spider-Man movie ever just sitting right there. A grounded take of Spider-Man like Sam Raimi's movies, that we get to see Peter, have this love connection with Black Cat, who only likes him because he's Spider-Man though. Maybe he teams up with Daredevil. It's just kind of the reason, in my opinion, we haven't had, we've never had a live-action Spider-Man movie be as good as Spider-Man 1 and 2. Look, No Way Home came close, but again, that's because you used Tobey Maguire's villains from Spider-Man 1 and 2, and Tobey Maguire was in there, it is tough, and I feel like Spider-Man 4 has the potential to do that. But with a Venom and a Kraven the Hunter, those are awesome characters, but I don't know if they're ready to be introduced. And look, we just had them in Marvel Spider-Man 2, and they were awesome. They were like the best depictions of the characters we've ever had. And now you're going to give me these anti-hero comedic relief versions in an MCU Spider-Man movie that is supposed to be Peter depressed and upset, and you're going to add these comedic Venom type anti-hero. Yeah, it's tough. I'm very interested to see how they're going to go about this. I mean, it looks like we're getting more multiversal stuff. I don't know what's going to happen with the multiverse. I think what they should do is, you could have this awesome grounded take of the character where he does have Black Cat and Scorpion, and maybe at the end of the movie something happens where the universe will start to collapse again and he gets introduced to Kraven and Venom, and maybe that sets up a dynamic in the Avengers movies or in MCU Spider-Man 5. That would be how I would do it if you were to try and introduce these characters. That would also separate it from being like too many villains in one movie. Instead, you're just introducing these guys at the end, right? And maybe the third act or something to get people excited for the next one, and Avengers, right? Yeah, I'm not sure if I like them being the main villains of the whole movie, but we'll have to wait and see, man. But of course, if you haven't already, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Comment your thoughts and opinions down below. Do you guys like that Venom and Kraven the Hunter might be in the MCU Spider-Man 4? I'd very much like to know. Don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel and my IRL/long channels. Links for them will be in the description down below. But as I was saying, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.